यशोदनन्दना जया व्रजजनन्दना जया व्रजजनन्दना जया यमुनातीरावनचारी जया कुञ्ज बिहारी जया यमुनातीरावनचारी जया कुञ्ज बिहारी जय राधा माधव जय कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव जय कुंज बिहारी यशोदानंदना जया व्रजनंदना जया व्रजनंदना यशोदानंदना जया व्रजनंदना व्रजनंदना जया यमुनाती अवनचारी जया कुंज बिहारी जया यमुनाती अवनचारी जया कुंज बिहारी जय राधा जय कुंज बिहारी जय कृष्ण हरे हरे कृष्ण हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे जय राधा गोपी जन वल्लभ राधा गोपी जन वल्लभ राधे दया चिताय पति पावन गौरहरि दया चिताय पति पावन गौरहरि जय जय प्रभुपाद प्रभुपाद जय जय प्रभुपाद जय जय गुरुदेव 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 जय जय गुरुदेव ओम अज्ञानतिमिरन्दस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनाशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वापदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातां सगणा रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपदान् सगणा ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपते गोपेशा गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी ऋषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधार Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hukum karoti vachalam pangum langayate girim yat kripatamaham bande. Shri Gurun Dinatarinam Parmananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanya Ishwaram. Wonderful. Thank you so much all for joining today. For
we actually got chose not to do 40 yesterday because speaking on Mahaprabhu. So if you don't mind, you can just read 40 quickly.
yes,
Just read through.
yes, thank you, Prabhu. Give me a second. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Hare Krishna Prabhu. Dandan Pranam. So today we are reading text 3. Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 32, Text 40. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Nanu lolu paya padishan. Na Nagraharu the Chetase 330 to 40. Nabhaktya chamadhe jatu Namad bhakta dvisham api. You want to follow? You want to read, bro? Nalolupayopadisen Nagraharuda chetase Nabhaktaya chame jatu Namad bhakta dushamapi Nalolupayopadisen Nagraharuda chetase Nabhaktaya chame jatu Namad bhakta dushamapi. Word by word translation. 1 second, I'll move this. Not. Lo lupaya. To the greedy. Upadishet. One should instruct. Not. Graha aruda chetase. To one who is too attached to family life. Not. Abhaktaya. To the non-devotee. Cha. And. Me. Of me. Jatu. Ever. Not. Mat. My. Bhakta. Devotees. Dvisham. To those who are envious of. Api. Also. It is not to be instructed to the translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. It is not to be understood, instructed to persons who are too greedy and too attached to family life. Not to persons who are non-devotees and who are envious of devotees and of the personality of Godhead. Purport. We will read 41, 40, 41, 42 today. Persons who are always planning to do harm to other living entities are not eligible to understand Krishna consciousness and cannot enter into the realm of transcendental loving service to the Lord. Also, there are so-called disciples who become submissive to spiritual master most artificially with an ulterior motive. They also cannot understand what Krishna consciousness or devotional service is. Persons who, due to being initiated by another sect of religion faith, do not find devotional service as the common platform of approaching the Supreme Personality of Godhead, also cannot understand Krishna consciousness. We have experienced that some students come to join us, but because of being biased in some particular type of faith, they leave our camp and become lost in wilderness. Actually, Krishna consciousness is not a sectarian religious faith. It is the teaching process for understanding the Supreme Lord and our relationship with Him. Anyone can join this movement without prejudice. But unfortunately, there are persons who feel differently. Therefore, it is better not to instruct the science of Krishna consciousness to such persons. Generally, materialistic persons are after some name, fame, and material gain. So if someone takes to Krishna consciousness for these reasons, he will never be able to understand this philosophy. Such persons take to religious principles as a social decoration. They admit themselves into some cultural institution for the sake of name only, especially in this age. Such persons also cannot understand the philosophy of Krishna consciousness. Even if one is not greedy for material possession but is too attached to family life, he also cannot understand Krishna consciousness superficially. Such persons are not very greedy for material possession, but they are too attached to wife, children, and family improvements. When a person is not contaminated by the above mentioned faults, yet at the ultimate issue is interested in the service of Supreme Personality of Godhead, or if he is non-devotee, he also cannot understand the philosophy of Krishna consciousness. Text 41, I'll just read the translation quickly. Instruction should be given to the faithful devotee who is respectful to the spiritual master, non-envious, friendly to all kinds of living entities, and eager to render service with faith and sincerity. Text 42, the instruction should be imparted by the spiritual master to persons who have taken the Supreme Personality of Godhead to be more dear than anything, who are not envious of anyone, who are perfectly cleansed, and who have developed detachment for that which is outside the purview of Krishna consciousness. I'll read the last paragraph of purport, which actually covers these three verses together. In these two verses, the qualities of devotee are fully explained. One who has actually developed all the qualities listed in these verses is already elevated to the post of a devotee. If one has not developed all these qualities, he still has to fulfill these conditions in order to become a perfect devotee. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So we welcome you all today for Srimad Bhagavatam class. Personally, it is said Srimad Bhagavatam is the post graduation and Chaitanya Charitamrita is a PhD. Now, materially as well as spiritually, I'm bankrupt. When I say materially, what to talk about PhD, I'm a 12th failure. And spiritually, when we talk about I'm struggling in the nations of material existence day and night, every minute and every seconds. So the reason for me speaking here is not because I'm qualified to speak on this subject, but the reason being is I'm struggling in this material ocean. And I really need all of your blessings. And that's why I'm trying to serve you all and serving Srimad Bhagavatam. By this opportunity, you may bless me. Srimad Bhagavatam may bless that I can actually achieve the perfection of life in this lifetime. So these are wonderful verses specifically talking about what is the qualification of a person who wants to actually attain that supreme abode, right? So it is talking about the first verse we talked about is being too attached to grista life. Can I have the phone? Being so attached to grihastha life, which is difficult because even one person who wants to actually take up devotional service, he wants to move forward, but there are so many hindrances, you know. So on this verse, and then here beautifully, this especially this verse is talking about who are not qualified to actually get the lotus feet of Krishna or Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu or Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Nityanand Prabhu, and Srimati Radharani, or Srila Prabhupada is those people who actually are who are envious and who have no interest in spiritual life, right? So dhyan or the gyan and bhakti is only awarded to those who have none of these bad qualities with them, right? So on the similar line, there is a beautiful verse in Chaitanya Charitamrita Adi Leela, which is 7.20. I'll just open that one, 7.20. Seivamelili hasiya, parva prema banadera, mudra ugadiya, panchemili lute preme kare aswadana, yata yata priye Krishna, bada anushana. Translation: the characteristics of Krishna are understood to be storehouse of transcendental love. Thank you for this opportunity, Prabhu. are understood to be the store of transcendental love. Although that storehouse of love certainly came with Krishna when he was present, but it was sealed. But when Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came with his associates of Panchatattva, they broke the seal and plundered the storehouse to taste transcendental love of Krishna. The more they tasted it, the more their thirst for it grew. This is a beautiful verse which is talking about when Krishna appeared, he restricted his diameter to whom he wanted to give Krishna Bhakti. It was restricted to Vrindavan and maybe some people who had that Vrindavan consciousness wherever they were able to connect to Krishna. But and in a nutshell, there is a honey, but if you lick from outside, you can't taste it. So it's a similar thing when Krishna came, but Chaitanya Mahaprabhu broke apart. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did not contribute this alone. He actually came with Panchatattva. He came with all the residents of spiritual abode from Golok Vrindavan to give this mercy to everyone. Right? So give that mercy to everyone. The next verse, which is 7.23, this is very much connected to today's verse. Patra patra vichara patra apatra vichara nahi sthana sthana yehi yaha paya. Sorry, ye yaha paya tana kare premadana. In distributing love of God, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his associates did not consider who was a fit candidate and who was not, nor where such distribution should or should not take place. They made no conditions. Wherever they got the opportunity, the members of Panchatattva distributed love of God, love of Godhead. This is very important. Connecting with today's verse, there is a qualification needed to surrender to Krishna. There is a qualification needed to surrender to Krishna. What is that? Sarva dharman parityaja mam ekam sharanam vijat aham tvam sarva papebhyo mokshashyami mahasucha. We have to leave all variety of religion and then surrender to Krishna. Today, the challenge is most of the people don't even know what is religion. They think Hindu is a religion, Muslim is a religion, and there are so many man-made religion. They think, oh, how can I leave the religion? Right? So it's so difficult to actually even understand what the religion is all about. So what to talk about taking the shelter of Lord Krishna? It is impossible for us. Right? That access to Vrindavan is completely not, it's not visible to us. We can't even access Vrindavan with that thing. Right? So Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came along with his associates and he did not see who is a fit candidate, who is not a fit candidate. Right? We just had Nityanand Tiryodashi and we were beautifully talking about Jagai and Mada's pastime. Right? So not only Lord Chaitanya, but all Pancha Tattva, like we are coming with the Mahaprakash Leela. Srivas Thakur's servant also got the mercy of Lord Chaitanya. What to talk about anyone else? There is a beautiful pastime of Dukhi. When she was fetching the water, she was just doing menial service. Oh, Lord Chaitanya, I'm not qualified to do that. Right? But she attained the mercy of the Lord. Right? Same way, there is 724. These are very beautiful verses connected to today's verse. Lutiya khaiya diya bandara ujare Ashcharya bandara prema sataguna bade. Although the members of Panchatattva plundered the store of love of Godhead and ate and distributed its contents, there was no scarcity. For this wonderful storehouse is so complete that as love is distributed, the supply increases hundreds of times. Amazing thing which is being spoken here, which is basically the more is given, it's increases by hundreds of times. Right? So Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, I have so many fruits to distribute, but I need your help. Now, does the Lord need our help? But Lord wants us to experience that bliss of giving Krishna to others. That is the nourishing fruit of giving Krishna to others, preaching. Right? And you see, everyone, Jare Dekho Tare Kaho Krishna Upadesh. That is what Lord Chaitanya was talking about. Right? I wanted to actually, was based on today's verse, Patra na Dekhi, what is the qualification? Lord Chaitanya did not see any qualification, and I was referring to South India Yatra. So we will discuss few pastimes, or we will discuss as much as the time permits about Lord Chaitanya's South India travel. So we all know Lord Chaitanya took sannyas and he went to Jagannath Puri based on the request of his mother Sachimata. When he went there, um, he had all the devotees surrounded him, just serving left and right and having wonderful gala time day and night, right? And then Lord Chaitanya, we know he met Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya the moment he entered the Jagannath temple. He fainted, and then Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya asked his servants to actually take him to his home. And then Lord Chaitanya did not have any symptoms of being alive. But then he realized that, oh, you know what, I can see small movements going on. So he realized he is a very highly elevated soul. But because he was practicing Mayavad, following the Shankaracharya's mission, right? He wasn't able to connect to Lord Chaitanya well. And this is wonderful. Lord Chaitanya, what is the first statement he says to Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya? It is my great fortune that just to see you, I have come here to actually learn from you. Now, what is the quality? We will talk about some of the learnings from whatever pastimes we will discuss today. Lord Chaitanya is teaching us the quality of humility. If Lord Himself is talking about the quality of humility, how important is for us to actually develop that quality? I personally don't have it, and I beg at all of your lotus feet so that I can at least have a drop of that humility, which all of you are feeling and experiencing. So Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya said, "Oh, how would you survive? You're so young, you're so beautiful. How would you continue your sannyas? Let me tell you Vedanta Sutra." And then he spoke for 7 days and 7 nights, and after that, Lord Chaitanya did not speak anything. Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya asked, "Why didn't you ask the question?" And Lord Chaitanya said, "I'm a fool. I don't have any qualification. But then you should have asked some questions." And then Lord Chaitanya actually clarified that your explanation is like the cloud covering the sun. And then he revived that dormant Krishna consciousness within Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya's house, and he surrendered to Lord Chaitanya, saying that you are the same Supreme Lord. And then Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya is nicely serving Lord Chaitanya. There are wonderful pastime in Jagannath Puri. We will not be covering that. But finally, Lord Chaitanya requested, he said to all the devotees, I am like your servant. Whatever way you want me to dance, I will dance. He tells to Nityanand Prabhu, you are like my robe. If you, the way you want me to dance, I will dance. I'm so obliged. I am so grateful to all of you. But I have a simple desire. My brother, Vishwaru, he took sannyas and he never came back. I want to go and see him in South India. Because he knew they won't let him go. Lord Chaitanya knows everything. He is Supreme Lord himself. He knew Vishwarup already left from this world, went back to spiritual abode of the Lord. But he wanted to seek the permission to preach because he didn't want to restrict the diameter of his preaching only to Jagannath Puri. Right? And at that time, Lord Chaitanya goes to Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya and he seeks his blessings. That I want to go to South India Yatra. And Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya starts crying, weeping. After many, many births, finally I've come to realization bhakti is the highest thing. And now you are leaving me. How would I survive? Lord Chaitanya begs, please let me go because my brother is there. I want to see where it is. So Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya takes Lord Chaitanya to Jagannath temple. And then Jagannath's garland fell, and then that is given to Lord Chaitanya. So Lord Chaitanya understand this is the mercy of the Lord Jagannath, who he is Jagannath himself. This is a very high principle Lord Chaitanya is teaching, that any mission, any activity we do, whether it is simple or even the highest, we should always seek first the blessing of devotees, and the second is the blessing of the Lord. There was this class which I was hearing. Purushottam, he was a king, and he actually was attacked by South Indian king, and he was a wonderful devotee of Lord Jagannath. But interestingly, he got defeated, and he came back, which means the Jagannath has to go to South India now. When he came back, he asked his minister, "What do you think I did wrong?" And the minister said, what do you think is the duty of a king? And then he responded beautifully, saying, you should be the servant of Lord Jagannath, which means you should seek his permission before going further. And he missed to take that permission. And then he begged to the Lord, and the Lord appeared in his dream, saying that you collect all the soldiers you have and again attack. I'll this time personally come to be on your party. Again, we don't want to go on that pastime. So Lord Chaitanya seeks all of the blessings and all the devotees come together. Nityanand Prabhu tells Lord Chaitanya, how would you go together? Let me join you. You know, I know in and out about South India because I did yatra across all these dham. And then Lord Chaitanya glorifies them in a very mysterious way. You are the same person who broke my danda. You are the same person I wanted to go to Vrindavan. You took me to Advaita Acharya's home. Then he said, Jagadananda Pandit, he wants to offer me wonderful scented oil. He doesn't understand I'm sannyasi. And when I don't want to accept it, he becomes angry and he doesn't want to talk to me for 3 days, which hurts me. And then he is talking about Govinda, that is that Govinda Prabhu who wants to serve Lord Chaitanya. He says, he gets upset and he doesn't say anything, but he sees Lord Chaitanya's austerity and doesn't say anything, but he cries. And Lord Chaitanya seeing him also cries.
He made the bed, the cotton.
No, sorry, not the Ramanujacharya one, sorry.
No, cotton, one devotee made a bed for Lord Chaitanya, that personality.
Yeah, Govinda, or who is that personality who is actually who's seeing Lord Chaitanya's renounced order? Huh?
Yeah.
Sorry. I'm poor with names. Please forgive me about that. But he is always thinking that I'm speaking so much of austerity, and he just feels it's so bad, and he feels bad, and I also feel bad about that because saying that why he is feeling like that. Same way, Damodar Pandit is a brahmachari, but he has a stick in his hand and teaches me what to do and what not to do. So better, I don't want to go with any of you. And Lord Nityananda finally says, okay, I have a simple. So before this happens, so Lord Nityananda joins. So Lord Chaitanya is about to leave Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, and everyone actually joins him, and he comes to Alarnath. That is the outskirts of Jagannath Puri. We went there this yatra. So the beautiful temple of Lord Vishnu. And there, Lord Chaitanya dances in ecstasy, he performs Sankirtan movement. And seeing the beautiful form of the Lord, everyone, all the villagers, all villages came together there to see the beautiful form of the Lord and started dancing in ecstasy. So, Lord Chaitanya started giving this Krishna prema to everyone far and wide. Whoever he will see, they will transform into bhaktas, pure devotees. So they started dancing and chanting. They were just mesmerized by this. Everyone was just dancing. And then Lord Nityananda realized it is so late now. So Lord Nityananda was resting there in the temple. He was fed prasad. The next day he took a bath and he started going towards South India. And Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya just fainted there, seeing Lord Chaitanya leaving. And Nityanand Prabhu requested, please take at least this one devotee, is a simple brahmachari, Kala Krishna. Please take him. He'll be able to at least carry your things. And Lord Chaitanya agreed. And Lord Chaitanya started. So wherever he would go in South India, whichever village he will go, the devotee, the people will see him and they will become pure devotee right away. And everywhere Lord Chaitanya would go, he would request them chant the name of Krishna. And take the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Take the
Jagadananda Pandit.
Jagadananda Pandit is giving the oil. There is a second devotee. I forgot the name. It's
What?
So Damodar Pandit is there, Jagadananda Pandit is there, and there is another third devotee who Lord Chaitanya is glorifying in a mysterious way. I forgot, sorry for. So Lord Chaitanya, when he comes there in every village, they are transformed into pure devotees. And when they go back home, they actually transform other people. So that's like Amway, you know. There used to be Amway concept, you know, and just you make members. Or they were just, whomever they come in contact with, they will become pure devotees. And then finally, Lord Chaitanya actually came to Kurmakshetra. And then he took the beautiful darshan of Kurma there in the temple. And then all the villagers came there and seeing him dancing in ecstasy, they also started dancing and they also got love of Krishna. And At that time, there was a wonderful devotee, and his name was Kurma Brahmana. And that is what I'm talking. The 40th verse is specifically talking, and then Kurma Brahmana exactly represents the Grahastha life, right? He actually mentions that. So he invites Lord Chaitanya to come to his place for prasad. And Lord Chaitanya comes. And then he washes the feet of Lord Chaitanya and offers the water to all his family members. And they are blissful. And he offers wonderful prayers that even Lord Brahma and Mother Lakshmi cannot get to actually touch your lotus feet. What to talk about washing and drinking the nectar? We are so fortunate by your mercy. And then Lord Chaitanya, he requested to Lord Chaitanya, saying that I am rotting in this material life. With the grasta, I'm just taking care of my family. This is so difficult. Please take me with you. And Lord Chaitanya becomes very grave. He says, no, you have a responsibility to take care of your family, but only thing you do is you chant the name of Krishna attentively and give the message of Krishna, of Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam to everyone. In this way, the material life will never touch you. A lot of time it happens, lot of devotees ask the question, at least I had some question in the past. How do we actually realign our goals every time, every minute, every second? Because in Grista life, it's so difficult. We're just thinking about it this morning. At 8, Mukunda's bus comes at 7:54. The bus didn't come up. I thought I had to drop into the school, but I was late for this class. I had to go back, I had to get ready and then come, and then snow is there. The vehicle is going left and right. So there are so many challenges in this material life. How do we realign? It's about reading the message of Krishna and spreading the message of Krishna. Right? So this is what Lord Chaitanya is saying. Next day, Lord Chaitanya stayed that night with Kurma Brahmana, and the next day morning, he took a bath and he begged permission. And then Kurma Brahmana again started following. And he followed to a certain extent. And then Lord Chaitanya asked him to go back. But very interestingly, in the same village, there was another wonderful devotee called as Vasudev. Vasudev Dutt. He was actually in a very precarious condition. He had a leprosy. Nobody would look at him from even from a distance. He had worms in all parts of his body, eating his flesh and blood. The pus was just pouring from his whole body. So he was just being dejected by everyone, just living in some corner. And when he got to know about Lord Chaitanya, he started thinking, when will I get to see Lord Chaitanya? Lord Chaitanya came back. And he saw Vasudev Dutt from distance and he actually gave him a big hug. And Vasudev Dutt became ecstatic by the hug of Lord Chaitanya. At the same time, he was feeling very guilty, saying that, why you are touching me, my Lord? My body is filled with pus and this all this stuff, this nonsense. And Lord Chaitanya starts glorifying him. Why is he glorifying? Because even the worms, when they fell off from the body of Vasudeva Dutt, he would pick it and put them in the same place. He was thinking they are my associates. What? They are eating the body of Vasudeva Dutt. They are making his situation even worse and he is about to die. We're just thinking about it. When Nayan Sundari was in the hospital, there was a certain kind of virus which actually started creating an infection. And that virus actually, even if it goes to a healthy person, it's very less chances for that person to survive. And this bacteria or this virus, whatever we call it as, was multiplying at such a high intensity, they were not able to cope up. And then finally she left the body. But I was like, let's apply every medicine to kill that. But here Vasudev Dutt is actually wants to take care of worms. The only shelter they have is my body. How can I let them go like that? Let them eat. What is the use of my body? And Lord Chaitanya started glorifying the quality of humility he had. And the Lord Chaitanya, when he hugged him, he immediately transformed into a beautiful personality. Very young, very charming, very beautiful. And at that time, he actually starts crying, Vasudev Dutt. He thinks that Lord Chaitanya, this is such a wonderful mercy, but people will now think about, I am the patra of your mercy. I received your mercy, and the pride will come in my heart. The pride is worse than the other people. I'm ready to go back to my previous disease rather than getting the pride. Wow. I was just thinking about myself. My whole life is all around taking a credit. I did this, I did this, I did this, I did this. But here, He is feeding, he wants to take that near death experience, he wants to die like that rather than being in a situation of getting that pride. Such an important part. My spiritual master was mentioning, I was actually hearing his Srirangam class in 2005, Srirangam Yatra. He was mentioning about rather than embracing the pride, we should curb it. We should be attentive that this is coming in my heart. I really need all of your mercy so that I can be free from that disease. And Vasudev Dutt is offering wonderful prayers. And Lord Chaitanya leaves from their Vasudev Dutt and Kurma Brahmana, hugs each other, and they are in ecstasy. What a mercy. And they are ready to distribute that mercy to everyone. And Lord Chaitanya moves forward. The next destination he comes to is Vishakhapatnam. There is a beautiful temple of Nrsimhadev there. Right? So it is said, Maharaj was explaining about this beautiful temple about Lord Nrsimhadev, is that when Hiranyakashipu was he thrown Prahlad in the ocean and he wanted to actually crush him with the mountain. At that time, Lord Nrsimhadev came, he became very angry. And after all this happened, when Prahlad Maharaj was a king, finally after killing of Hiranyakashipu, he comes and worships Lord Nrsimhadev here. And this is a beautiful darshan of the Lord because the tail and the nails are of Lord Nrsimhadev, but the rest of the body is of more incarnation. Right? And he worships the beautiful form of the Lord, and Lord personally appears there. It is said in the temple, Lord was so angry with Hiranyakashipu that his whole body is heated, that pujaris have to apply chandan every day and they don't remove chandan, they keep piling more and more chandan. Only once a year and one Ekadashi, they remove all the chandan and thousands of devotees come there to chant and see the beautiful form of the Lord. So, Lord took the darshan, did a wonderful ecstatic dance there. All the people were transformed, they became a pure devotee, and then he came to the beautiful place of Vidyanagar. Now, there is one thing which I forgot to mention. When Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya was asked for the permission to leave to South India, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya said, I need a favor, my lord. When you go to South India, you must meet a devotee called as Ramananda Rai. He is a minister, and Shudra by Brahmanical principles are based on the four caste and this thing. But he is a wonderful devotee. I never realized his depth in Krishna consciousness because until I got the mercy, I didn't realize how deep he was in Krishna consciousness. He would preach about bhakti, but I wouldn't understand any of that stuff. Right? Like same way his brother-in-law, Gopinath Acharya, when he would preach, he would say, he's the same Lord. Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya would say, no, the Lord is Three Yugi. He only comes in Three Yuga. It's not mentioned in Kali Yuga. And Gopinath Acharya would mention, saying that, quoting the scriptures, saying that he comes in every Yuga, and in this Yuga, it's a Channa avatar. He said, whatever you believe, I don't believe any of that stuff. But he got the mercy and he requests that you must meet Ramananda Rai. And Lord comes to Vidyanagar. He takes the bath in Mother Godavari, River Godavari. And he comes out, he sees a palanquin. There is a lot of people just chanting the hymns of Vedas and all that stuff, and they are carrying Ramananda Rai and palanquin. And they go and take a bath, and Ramananda Rai also takes the bath there. And when he comes out, he sees the beautiful effulgence radiating from Lord Chaitanya's body. And he was like, wow. And Lord Chaitanya asked him, are you Ramananda Rai? And Ramananda Rai very wonderfully answers. He says, I am the dust of the lotus feet of the servant of the servant of the servant of the servant of the servant. Very interesting. Ramananda Rai is Vishakha Devi. Right? There is a similar incident in Ramayana. When Hanumanji comes to see Lord Ram and Lakshman, he asks, who are you? And Lord Ram introduces himself first. And after that, he introduced Lakshman. Lakshman says, though he calls me as my brother, as his brother, but I'm just the menial servant at his lotus feet. Who is saying? Lord Lakshman is saying. Nityanand Prabhu is saying. Balramji is saying. So here Ramananda Rai, when he says that Lord Chaitanya's starts, his body is melting. His eyes are filled with tears. And Ramananda Rai seeing this beautiful form of the Lord, and they hug each other, the tears are flowing and they are creating a river of ecstasy. And these Smartha Brahmanas, when they see what is happening, they're like, what is... So some Brahmanas are thinking, "Hey, look at the Shudra, he is hugging the Brahmana." And others are thinking, oh, look at this Brahmana, he is hugging the Prime Minister. They can't understand what's going on. They are in the highest ecstasy of love of Krishna. Lord Chaitanya is in the mood of Srimati Radharani. And Vishaka Sakhi is always there next to Srimati Radharani. And then they realize that these Brahmanas, because they are Smartha Brahmanas, they are not able to understand what's going on. So they forcefully come out of that ecstasy. They forcefully come out of that ecstasy. And then Lord Chaitanya actually tells him that Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya mentioned about your name, that I should see you. I'm so fortunate to see you, and I want to sit with you and hear from you. And Lord Chaitanya, Ramananda Rai requests, saying that you stay in this village for some time, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu agreed. And Ramananda Rai comes every day to Lord Chaitanya, and Lord Chaitanya asks him various questions. That's the place where there is a beautiful conversation going on, which is talking about Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Ashtanga Yoga, Bhakti Yoga. What is the best yoga? And then what is the best rasa with Krishna? I don't want to go into that topic, but that's where the beautiful philosophical discussion, and then recognizing or establishing bhakti. And even on bhakti, the highest rasa is the conjugal relationship between Krishna and Radharani and the gopis is being mentioned there. That relationship, it's so highest that even we don't talk about that in public classes. Like I was hearing about my spiritual master's class on delivering Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. He was mentioning about what is it in the Vrindavan Vasis. These gopis have so many responsibilities to take care, and they leave everything because Krishna is calling. And when Krishna is calling, when they come to see Krishna, Krishna is saying, what brings you here? Now, can you imagine? You go to someone's house, they invite you. You ring the bell and they ask you, why have you come here? How does it feel? You will say, hey, you invited me. Why do you do like that? And all that stuff. Right? But they are saying, we are just your menial servant. Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami in Adi Leela mentions about this one by one, next chapter. First is glorification of Nityanand Prabhu. Then there is a glorification of Advaita Acharya Prabhu. And he actually established the mood of servitude is so higher. Even Srimati Radharani, when Uddhava goes to Vrindavan and actually gives the message of Krishna there, what is Srimati Radharani saying? I'm just the menial servant at the lotus feet of Krishna. Krishna, in Vrindavan, it is said, everyone chants the name of Sri Radha. Because even Krishna is subservient. But she is saying, I'm subservient to Krishna's lotus feet. I'm just the maid servant. I'm like thinking, what Lord Chaitanya's mission and what Prabhupada has given is the highest principle, the highest rasa is given to us who have no qualification. Who have no qualification to actually even practice bhakti. What to talk about? We see Srimad Bhagavatam, when we read the first chapter itself says, What is the qualification of one to study Bhagavatam? What to talk about preaching Bhagavatam? Is one should be non-envious, one should be, it's such an Amala Purana that one should be completely free from all anarthas. Then only you can understand Bhagavatam. Prabhupada gave us freely. And not only that, Prabhupada gave us that you distribute this. One time, one devotee was asking Srila Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada, NOI is such a elevated topic. It is talking about the nuances of bhakti. Should we still distribute that book? Srila Prabhupada said, yes, you should distribute that book. This is very important. How would we distribute? Like the other day, I was given the service to distribute Yugal Kishore Prabhu's book. Wonderful books he has written. I'm like, what would I speak? I need to know about the book then only because I haven't read. I have to read so that I can actually talk about what is in the book. How can I sell something if I haven't read myself? Again, this is the area of improvement for me. So seek all of your blessing there. But we need to read Srila Prabhupada books. I think it was what is this? Maharaj, he was mentioning about Rompad Maharaj. His name is Rompad Maharaj. He was mentioning one time that it was very dark night, like 2 a.m. or 1 a.m. Somehow he was awake chanting down and he saw Prabhupada's room light was on. He was translating Srimad Bhagavatam. And he was like, wow. And he was emphasizing on why we should study Srimad Bhagavatam. Why should we study Srila Prabhupada's book? So coming back to the topic, what is the hope for us who have so many bad qualities? I'm talking about myself at least. What is the probability of getting the mercy of Krishna? That can only happen by the mercy of Lord Chaitanya. But how can we get the mercy of Lord Chaitanya without getting the mercy of Guru? Because Guru is that connecting point, not just the point. Like one time, Srila Prabhupada was asked, Srila Prabhupada, how would I recognize you when I come back to spiritual world? Prabhupada said, you don't need to recognize me, I will recognize you. And I'll take you to the Kunja of Radha Krishna. And then I'll drop you there and come out. I'll leave you there. So, our connection with Lord Chaitanya is through our Guru through Srila Prabhupada, and Srila Prabhupada, then all Acharyas. This is very, very important. Every piece, every twist and turns, every story, every pastime in Chaitanya Charitamrita is trying to bring us to that platform that we have to imbibe the quality of humility. We have to imbibe the quality of running away from taking credit and serving the Lord in the mood of servant of the servant of the servant. So with that, I know it's 9:12. I'll just summarize it quickly. So what we discussed 3.32.40 to 42 verses, which are specifically talking about devotees' qualities. And one should actually seek the shelter of a guru. And there are prerequisite qualities one must have to actually receive the mercy of the Lord. And then we connected to Chaitanya Charitamrita talking about Patra na dekhi sthane sthanam. So where Lord Chaitanya did not see who was qualified and who did not qualify, not Lord Chaitanya, Panchatattva, and all his followers, like 6 Goswamis, they actually gave that unlimited love to everyone, right? So we talked about that. We talked about South India Yatra. We talked about how Lord Chaitanya made Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya and how he delivered Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. Briefly, we covered that. And he takes the blessing of all the devotees and Lord Jagannath. And then he comes for South India Yatra. There we talked about why it is important to take the blessings of the Vaishnavas and the Lord. And then we talk about South India Yatra, then Lord Chaitanya coming back first to Kurma Kshetra. He delivered Kurma Brahmana and Vasudev Dutt. We talked about the quality of humility. We also talked the quality of when one is a Grasta, how should one practice so that they can be liberated even in Grasta life. And then the second place where he came is to Vishakhapatnam. We talked about Janadiya Narsingha, right? Their Lord actually after that he came to Vidyanagar, we did not elaborately discuss, considering the time and all, about he meeting Ramananda Rai. So with that, please forgive me for my shortcomings in any of this thing. This is very highest topic. By the mercy of Shyam Kishore Prabhu and all of you, I was able to say something. But please forgive me if there were any shortcomings. And I seek blessings at all of your lotus feet. That this Gaur Purnima is not just another Gaur Purnima for me. This should bring the transformation in my heart. And one day, by your mercy, I can get to serve Lord Chaitanya and all Panchatattva. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
A question for you.
Yes, Prabhu.
Can you repeat? I'll say you can repeat the question on the Zoom, okay? So, Prabhuji, can you share some personal, some in your life that how we hear that Mahaprabhu's mercy is causeless and it just drives you crazy? So, can you please give some personal experience, something?
The question is there any personal experience I have where Lord Chaitanya's mercy is there and I felt crazy? Prabhu, I want to be very honest. I'm crazy about Maya. Every aspect, whether it is money, whether it is about job, whether it is conveniences and all that stuff. A wonderful experience. And again, it's not my experience, but that's something which I could see. And I'm still driving more and more insights to this. When Nayan Sundari was leaving, it was very interesting. Because when she was leaving, I was just thinking about how does one feel when you are in a deep sleep. Being in sedation is like a deep sleep. You open your eyes and you see devotees are chanting loudly. Clear, boss, it's time for me to go. Not that if I'm a healthy person, I may not think, but a person who is already there, he knows that this is my moment. What is the probability of that person to not think about the children? Mother is very attached to the children. You take any mother, you ask any mother, very attached to the children. They think about what other person did. She did not think even a moment about that thing, thinking that, hey, what is going to happen? Lord Chaitanya is there, he'll take it. And one thing, when she opened her eyes, when she heard the kirtan, she started folding her hand. Only she knows, only Guru knows what she saw at that time. And at that time, in that situation, folding the hands and offering pranam and offering gratitude. This is what Lord Chaitanya is teaching in all South India Yatra. He's so grateful to everyone. Even something minute has happened. Srila Prabhupada borrowed the same mood. Even if someone changed the toilet paper, he will glorify that person that he did that stuff for me. He would glorify forever, right? What that person, what she saw there, in my opinion, I was thinking about the same person, like a lady who was carrying the wood pile. He fell off. Lord Krishna personally came and he said, what should I do for her? She said, can you put this on my head? I was asking the same thing. Hey, Lord, can you recover her? Can she come back? What Lord offered, no one can imagine. Even millions of lifetime, one can go back to God. And what to talk about karma yoga, jnana yoga, ashtanga. These people are working so hard to actually even see a glance of Brahman. What to talk about seeing the beautiful form of the Lord. That's one thing. Second thing is, what is the biggest contribution of Lord Chaitanya? When Lord Chaitanya was there in Shiva's house, that ecstasy that is called as rasasthali is being experienced by all the devotees, and the diameter is restricted who can be in. Right? Even Lord Krishna's pastime, which we heard in Adi Leela, Madhya Leela, which is mentioning about, he did not give it freely. He restricted who can be in my, in favorite list. I will put it that way from material concept, not that Krishna is as a favoritism. But Lord Chaitanya freely gave that Krishna prema to everyone in the form of Sankirtan. Sankirtan is such an important activity of devotional service. If one sincerely calls out, Lord Chaitanya actually awards, I wouldn't say the same amount of ecstasy, because I can't compare, because you are not there. Like, I'm trying to play the role of Nityanand Prabhu and they say, oh, you have to dance in ecstasy. You're like a madman. I don't know what Nityanand Prabhu is experiencing. Of course, what to talk about Nityanand Prabhu, the other devotees, we can never experience what they are experiencing, right? But at the same time, based on ye yathamam prapadyante, Krishna awards those wonderful experiences. One time, um, please forgive me about mentioning this experience. This is talking about my neophyteness. I was in Radhadesh Melos. I was hearing an ecstatic kirtan. It was a very condensed experience in such a small room when all the devotees come together. And especially Sachinandan Maharaj was so particular about reminding everyone to actually focus on the holy name and sing at the highest thing which you can, like highest caliber you can think about. You should sing on that. And he came and he mentioned one story. And before he mentioned that story, because I am in such a material suffering condition, I have no idea where I'm heading towards, and I really need mercy. So in that kirtan, um, I was really crying, thinking that I really need mercy. I'm not able to move forward. I was just mentioning in our Sunday feast, coming connected to this point, is that at a certain period of our Krishna consciousness life, so far we have been our effort. It's like a 401k match. I am putting some money, my employer is putting money. So I'm putting my effort, Krishna's mercy is awarded based on this thing. But at least this is my experience, we reach to a certain part of spiritual life where the whatever effort you put, nothing goes forward. You feel like I'm stagnant, I'm not moving forward. And Krishna's mercy is extremely limited. It's not that he is not merciful, but now he wants us to cry for that mercy. Now, hey boss, you wanted to come here, I gave you chocolate, I gave you this. Now you reached on and now you do your own this. And what is this? Now, not the effort. You are putting effort, but the reciprocation is very like zero. And at that time, you really reach to that stage of crying for the mercy of Krishna, and then he awards drops. I asked this question to um I forgot the name. He's my favorite devotee, but I have a name remembering problem. So I asked this Prabhu who was saying, no, he came here, Prabhu, apna brahmachari from Chowpatty, not Radhisha Prabhu. Brajbihari Prabhu. Prabhu, we feel some experience in Kirtan, we feel some experiences, but they don't last for long. I want to retain that. He said it will not happen. Why? You take an example of Narada Muni. When he saw the Lord, and he said, I know now how to, this is what I did, and I want to experience that. But he wasn't able to experience, he wasn't able to see the Lord. And at that time, Lord spoke, in this life, you can only get this. So he mentioned that. And this is my answer, which I heard from coming back to this point. Sorry, I'm everywhere. So this was when Maharaj came at that time in the Kirtan. He said there was one devotee of the Lord, very wonderful pastime. He was practicing bhakti, but after certain period of time, he left. And Lord came to his dream. Why did you leave? And this person said, for so long I've been practicing, I don't see any reciprocation from you. He said, when you had those tears in the Kirtan, that was my mercy. So it's what I understood from that thing is we don't understand mercy. We have mercy, unlimited mercy, but we don't realize because we have some reserve. I'm not talking about you, I'm talking about me. Reservation. According to me, the mercy should be this. According to me, the mercy should be this. According to me, I should not have a job problem. According to me, I should not lose my family member. According to me, everything should be great. That is a wrong understanding. So, sorry, Prabhu, please forgive me about that. You are qualified to actually answer that and share thousands of examples from your personal past, personal experiences with the Lord, where you felt that joy. But this is all I can say, bro. You want to add something, bro?
No, yeah, that brought tears to my eyes.
So you got ecstasy, bro.
Yeah.
You already have an experience there. Veera Mataji, go ahead. Hare Krishna. You have one question? You want to unmute yourself, Mataji? I know I'm 9:24. Maybe anyone else has questions or comments? before we end? Sorry, I'm over time. Wonderful. Thank you so much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Dandavat Pram. Hare Krishna. Please pray for us.
Prabhuji, Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranams. Yes, Srila Prabhupada. Prabhuji, how do you keep yourself so enthusiastic and so humble? Like I really, oh, I don't know. It's this thing that you always are begging for prayers, and that attracts the heart of devotees, and they bless you, and that is why you are in that mood always. Such a glorifying example, Prabhuji. Please share, how do you keep yourself so enthusiastic and so humble in this path?
Don't need to know.
Malaji, I don't have any of that qualification. You still think that's your glory, that your eyes have the tendency to see that in every soul. Imagine a beggar who did not eat for days and months and years. He sits outside the temple and look at everyone, thinking that maybe this person will give, maybe this one will give. But he has to be enthusiastic because the other person will not give him this thing, right? Because if you're not enthusiastically begging, you see, I remember at least the experiences in trains, in Indian trains. When you go there, a lot of beggars come and they start singing and they clean the floor and all that stuff. Why? Because they are expecting something. Unfortunately, my situation, I want to be very honest, I'm struggling. And struggling is probably a smaller word, but I don't need any of the prayer on the material plane. I realized by the mercy of whoever are around me, please forgive me, I heard this class, Maharaj was very strict, saying that we should not become emotional in the class. So, by the mercy of so-called relationship with my wife and whatever it is, one time, I want to share this personal example. I asked Chandramouli Maharaj after the Bhagavatam class, we were going home and I was taking him home. And I asked him, Maharaj really struggling. And he gave a very interesting example, and that's what's so wonderful about any time, whenever sannyasi is coming, once some elevated soul come, we should always figure out the way to ask those questions and extract nectar from them, not necessarily for the sake of asking, but at the same time, yes. He said, he asked me an opposite question. He said, do you have taste in working? And this is, I never thought about that question ever in my life because I'm a very career oriented person. I still remember my conversation with Nayan Sundari saying that, oh, you know what? I want to grow now. I want to be this extremely career oriented person, technology and whatever it is in my field. And I answered, Maharaj, no. And I did not thought about it. I'm like, when I started thinking, I said, oh, hold on, something has changed. And he said this line, which I will never forget. That is all of your association with her awarded you this. That is all her mercy. So I am struggling in my consciousness, but whatever little I have, it is just by her mercy and by all of your mercy. Because if you would not have been there, if you would not have prayed, she would not have received that destination. So ultimately, everything A is equal to B, B is equal to C. That's why A is equal to C. So, in a nutshell, I am here. It is because of all of your mercy. I have zero enthusiasm, but I want to really say that when the suffering comes, whether someone wants to accept humility, and I don't have humility either, but whatever little 0.05% or whatever is there, it automatically comes. And I would say it's better to be in that precarious condition. I can't imagine Vasudev that saying that stuff because I have to be there to see what they are talking about. It's an individual thing, but hopefully that answers Mataji.
Thank you, Prabhuji. I really liked how you put it, enthusiastically begging. At least when, when we are feeling low or when we are not feeling low, both cases we can remember this. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you so much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna. See you. Ananda Koti Vaishnavanda ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you. Hare